Hello everyone, welcome to class series, and in this video we're going to be discussing our question answers of the poem The Schoolboy of first PUC English. So our first part in the question answers is Comprehension 1. In that our first question is, who do you think I refer to in the poem The Schoolboy? The word I refers to the poet William Blake. Second question is, Sweet Company refers to option A, Skylark, option B, Huntsman Horn, option C, Bird Song, option D, all the above three. The correct answer for this question is option D, all the above three. Our third question is, what drives the boy's joy away? The answer for this question is, going to school in a summer morning drives the boys' joy away. Our fourth question is, how do the little ones spend the day in the school? The answer for this question is, the little ones spend their day in sighing and dismay. Sighing, sighing and dismay. Dismay. Our fifth question is, what does the word cage stand for in the poem Schoolboy? The word cage stand for school in the poem The Schoolboy. Our sixth question is, pick the phrase from the following which does not refer to formal schooling. Option A, birds are nipped. Option B, fruits are gathered. Option C, plants are stripped. Option D, blossoms are blown away. The correct answer for this question is option B, fruits are gathered. Our seventh question is, relate the seasons mentioned under column A with the stage of the life under column B. So what I'm gonna do here is that I'm directly gonna tell the answers of three questions. Okay, we have three questions. Our first question is spring. The correct option for first question is option C, childhood. Second question is summer. The correct option for second question is option A, youth. Our third question is winter. The correct option for third question is option B, old age. Let's move on to our next main, that is comprehension second part. In that our first question is, what does the schoolboy love to do on a summer morn? What drives his joy away? So as we know that this is our 4 markers and we have to write in the format. So you will start your answer as, this question is extracted from our poem The Schoolboy and it is written by the poet William Blake. Continue with the answer. The poem The Schoolboy is very effectively discusses the boy's bitter bitter experiences of the school and proves how the joy of the children is driven away from them. Driven. The schoolboy loves to rise in a summer morning and wants to enjoy the sweet company of the birds when the distant distant huntsman winds his horn and the skylarks sings with him. And with the birds, huntsman and the skylark, he gets a sweet company. And that's the reason he loves to rise in the summer morning. The boy feel glad, glad, to be in the company of nature in the summer morning. Whenever he think of going school in a summer morning where he cannot enjoy his life with the nature, it completely drives his joy away. The summer seems very much comfortable for the children and they hate to spend precious days in the school. So till here is our first answer. Let's move on to our second question, that is, describe the boy's experience in the school. First you will write, this question is extracted from our poem The Schoolboy and it is written by the poet William Blake. Continue with the answer. This question tells about the schoolboy's experience in the school. The boy's experience in the school is full of fear and discouragement. The schoolboy loves to rise in the summer morning and wants to enjoy the company of the nature, But whenever he thinks of going to school on a summer morning, it drives all his joy away. He have to sit under a cruel eye all the day in the school, and all the little ones spend their day in sighing and dismay. Sighing, sighing and dismay. Dismay. His boredom, boredom. His boredom and fear are reflected in the dropping manner in which he sits, and the restlessness, restlessness that he exhibits, exhibits. The schoolboy spends many anxious hours, anxious hour in the school. He cannot take delight, delight from the book and from the school, nor he can sit in the learning's bower, learning apostrophe s, learning's bower, bower. In bracket you can write where learning takes place with nature, not with four walls, close the bracket. Okay, continue with the answer. The books give him no joy, and the school makes him feel worn out, worn out. The speaker of this poem compares the school to a cage and says that the children have to spend many anxious hours, anxious hours, like the caged bird, caged bird spends. The schoolboy bravely questions the system of education, as well as the parents, how it is right to droop his tender wing, and forget his youthful spring when fears annoy, like the caged bird, caged. Thus, this is the boy's experience in the school. In the poem The Schoolboy. Let's move on to our third question, that is, according to the poet, how does formal education curb a learner's potential? You will start your answer as, this question is extracted from our poem The Schoolboy, and it is written by the poet William Blake. This question speaks about how a formal education curbs a learner's potential. Formal education curbs the potential of the child as it takes away from the child its freedom. The child is like a caged bird, caged bird in school, and just like the wings of the caged bird droop, droop, the spirit of the child sags, sags in school, which instills in the child a sense of fear. Children, like plants, need to be nurtured, nurtured, and given care if they are to ripen successfully, ripen successfully, and bear fruit, bear fruit later on. The children are not allowed to be in the company of the nature, like birds, huntsmen, skylarks, music, etc., from which the children get a sweet company. But formal education curbs it. Curbs it. Okay? They feel like cage, caged, and they cannot take delight from the school. They have to forcefully sit, forcefully sit under a cruel eye For anxious hours, ANXIOUS, anxious hours. If children are not allowed to have a natural childhood which is spent in playing freely among the natural things like hills, lambs, 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 birds, nature, etc., then they will wither, WITHER, wither before they can blossom, BLOSSOM, blossom into mature adults, MATURE, mature adults, BLOSSOM, blossom. Thus, the poet describes how formal education curbs a learner's potential. Okay, let's move on to our third main, that is comprehension, third part. In that, our first question is: formal schooling not only takes away the joy of the childhood but also hinders the child's growth forever. Explain. As we know that comprehension third part is always our 6 markers, we have to write in the format. So how will the format go? First thing you have to write is: this question is extracted from our poem The Schoolboy and it is written by the poet William Blake. After writing this, you have to write 4 to 5 sentences or 4 to 5 lines of the author's introduction. So basically this is a poem, so you will write 4 to 5 lines or 4 to 5 points of poet introduction that you have to write. Okay, then after writing this, you will start with your main answer to highlight the point that formal education not only takes away the joy of childhood but also hinders the child's growth forever, comma, the poet equates, equates the seasons of the year with different stages in life. He points out that what happens in childhood has its impact on adulthood and old age. He questions as to how there can be growth in the summer if the birds, BUDS, birds, comma, blossoms, 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 and plants themselves are destroyed in the spring if summer is bereft, BEREFT, bereft of fruits. Naturally one has no defense against the blasts, BLASTS, blasts of winter. In other words, the poet tells us that a happy childhood makes adulthood and old age pleasurable. But if the childhood itself is devoid of joy, DEVOID, devoid of joy, there is nothing to look forward to in adulthood and old age. Thus, the poet makes it crystal, CRYSTAL, crystal clear that childhood experiences are very important to lead a happy life, and school have a major role to play in determining whether childhood experiences are conducive, CONDUCIVE, conducive to growth or not. Let's move on to our second question, that is: do you think the poet is arguing against education? Discuss. You start your answer as: this question is extracted from our poem The Schoolboy and it is written by the poet William Blake. After writing this, you will write 4 to 5 points of the poet's introduction. Just basic points you write, that's more than enough. And from the next sentence, you will start your main answer. The main answer starts as: no, the poet is not against education. He is only against unhealthy practices in education. He makes it clear that education should be offered in a free and healthy atmosphere. Children should not be made to feel like caged birds, CAGED, caged birds. They should not feel insecure and restless, INSECURE, insecure, RESTLESS, restless. They should not find the whole experience of learning to be dreary and dull, DREARY, dreary and dull, DULL, dull. There should be enough opportunities to tap their creative potential and turn them into productive human beings. So that's it for this video. We are done with our question answers of the poem The Schoolboy.